Well, this was my first chance to really talk with them. But as far as whether or not they're on the same page, I believe that probably it's fair to say that Courtney sees this situation as different than does Chris. And I say that because in the limited time that I had with them, it seemed like Chris maybe is still dealing with his feelings for it. He's still wanting to have a strong connection. It's obviously painful. It's raw and it's new, and it's something that he's still trying to deal with. It seems like Courtney's style is maybe to be a little bit more forthcoming with her emotion and her feelings, which is fairly typical for a lot of girls. They find that easier. It comes more naturally. But all the same, I think from the limited time that I have known them and worked with them, I believe that probably Chris is dealing with things internally, as he said, as he has mentioned in our session that we had together. And that is probably what he's used to. It's what he falls back to because he's kind of an independent person that way. And I believe that probably at least has the potential of making it harder for him to heal together with her in the future, if that ever were to happen. I tend to think that probably at this point Courtney seems to be moving forward. She seems to be done and kind of advancing and trying to heal from an actual closure, whereas it seems like Chris is dealing with this as this is how we're ending it for now, and I think there's going to be some potential. I don't think necessarily that they're both seeing that the same way. Do you feel peaceful right now about the whole thing? Do you feel like, okay, we're going to end up kind of pulling away and doing our own thing? Or does that feel okay right now, or are you kind of struggling with that?
You know, it sucks a little bit. Of course it does, because I think we kind of both like each other, and we both have feelings for each other. And it's hard in that manner, but at the same time, I don't know, like, my biggest thing with this entire process has been whatever's supposed to happen is going to happen, and I felt like I should pick Courtney at the end because I do have feelings for her, that I really do like her, that I like who she is even when she's a brat, or even when she's on her good days. I've been around her quite a bit. I went down to Phoenix to see her, to meet her family. It was just a really good experience, and yeah, she has her bratty side, so do I. I have my ridiculous side sometimes, but it's about accepting each other for their differences, and yeah, it's just that.
Yeah. I feel peaceful about it.
Yeah, good.
And I feel like it's kind of a good decision for both of us. You know, so.
I mean, it could change in the future, but yeah, I feel good right now. I really do.
Good. Okay, fair enough. I would say that by and large, most men tend to kind of harbor the frustration and the pain and the disappointment and maybe the sense of abandonment or rejection on kind of a slower pace and more internally. That's stereotypical, though. Some men are different, of course, but there's a different pace that's had between men and women, and across one person to another. I think it's fair to say that closure, as we all seek it, is something that will happen slowly and over time. Where people get into trouble is when they try and put an expectation of a time frame for it. You really can't predict how long it's going to take to close and to be fully healed. It could be a matter of a couple of weeks. It could be a matter of 3 or 4 months. And some people harbor the pain of a breakup for years. It really just depends on how honest we are with ourselves, how open we are, and how willing we are to express those feelings to the people that really are going to matter the most to us as a support network from here forward.
Yeah, I definitely think so. I mean, we've been through a crazy process together from the beginning to whatever is the end for us, but I think, if anything, we've become good friends and can talk to each other and support each other. I think that's what's really good about us together, is we really do support each other and try and understand where we're coming from. So
this may seem like a strange question. I'm just curious to know, I mean, the journey you guys have been on the last few weeks together, obviously you've put your hearts on the table, you've been pretty vulnerable and exposed that way, shared a lot with each other. Do you feel like there's been something that you've learned from this experience that you'll end up holding on to and kind of cherishing as the memory of this?
Go first.
No, I'll go first. Yeah, of course. Of course. I mean, I've been through long relationships in the past, and I've just been in those situations where I might have been like emotionally abused a little bit in certain relationships, and it's just it's refreshing to have good communication with somebody and have somebody approach me with something that was really hard last night for her to talk about with the long distance relationship stuff, and her not really like feeling that that was good for her. And she approached it in the right way, and she did it in a very constructive manner. She did it in such a good way that, you know, it makes me feel good that somebody was willing to communicate with me like that. And yeah, so I'll definitely take that away, that I love the communication that I can have with her. Like, if I bother her or if we have like differences, we can talk about them, and I really do appreciate that, and I appreciate that I can see that in a relationship. So yeah.
What I've taken away from this whole thing probably would be, it's okay to put yourself out there. And I know maybe this isn't the way we thought it would end or the way we thought it would progress, but like I feel like everything's happened the way it should, and that there are nice guys out there that treat girls well, and that, you know, that there is, you know, opportunities out there that maybe we just don't see as opportunities. So it's kind of what I've taken away from it all. Yeah. It's okay to be vulnerable, let my guard down sometimes, even though it's hard.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Just a little.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny you say that, because in the times that I work with couples, one of the things that keeps showing up over and over again is that the people that are able to connect the most are the ones who have practice with and a familiarity and an ease with becoming vulnerable. Mm-hmm. And the fact that you guys have done that and that you're willing to do that, that's huge. That's a huge advantage for whether this ends up working out or whether you end up kind of parting ways permanently. This potentially could be a really, really good stepping stone, an experience for you to grow on. So good for you that you were able to do that. That's a huge thing.
Big step for both of us.
Yeah. So yeah. This is like we were talking about. It's like you communicate physically, and a lot of the way, like, she could tell last night, because we had talked a little bit earlier in the week, and she's like, I had something to talk about after the soccer game on Saturday. And I just, last night I was a little awkward just because I didn't know what she wanted to talk about exactly. So I was a little standoffish. Right. And
kept bringing it up, and I told him to listen.
I know. It's just hard. It's like, I know. I'm trying to. I was sitting there trying to break through it a little bit, and it was a little. You know, I just physically I was a little just like standoffish a little bit, just because I just didn't know what to expect, and because I put myself in a vulnerable position, I just didn't know. I didn't know if I was going to get myself burned or not. So, but yeah, like, I completely understand that. I completely understand that. I've been through that, and it's so hard to carry on a long distance relationship, because you can't, when you get in arguments or you get in bad communication fits, you just can't be there to hold the person and be like, you know what, we just need to shut up and just kind of be here with each other and just forget about everything that we're talking about right now and just know that we're here for each other.
Well, you both sound like you're dealing with it as best you can. That's a good thing. It's probably not the easiest thing, but you sound like you're at least looking at it in a fair way, in a healthy way. So after the session this morning with Courtney and Chris together, I sat down just with Chris after Courtney left, and we started talking about how he was dealing with things and how he was processing. That was interesting to hear him talk. I feel like he was fairly ready to move forward, because it seems like he's ready to be done with the whole experience. It's been very difficult for him. But it was interesting to hear him talk about how he still has feelings for Courtney and how he still sees that as being a positive experience. Now that Courtney's not in the room, I wasn't there. I didn't get a chance to see, obviously, what happened. But did it feel like it was closure? Did it feel like it was done?
You know, I don't feel like it's completely done between us, and I really went home and thought about it a lot last night, and I was like, you know what, whatever is going to happen is going to happen. And, you know, we had a good enough talk, and we hung out even after we talked about that last night, and we both made each other feel extremely comfortable the entire time when we were together last night, after the fact, after we talked about it. And it wasn't like a complete closure, just because it's like I want to keep her in my life. There's definitely that, and see where it goes from there. I mean, we have been through like a little bit of a process where we've dated for a few times, and I've met her family, and her family's wonderful. I love her family, and I mean, we've had that connection, and I know that she feels that connection with me because she's even told me that, and that she really does like me. She really enjoys being around me. It's just the complexities of the long distance things are keeping her away, and you know, in time that could change, and that could change for me too, because I have the same reservations as she does, and I told her that last night, that I am afraid of having a long distance relationship with her. I really am.
You are?
It's like, and I don't think as of like, even if last night she's like, I would like to be in a relationship with you, I don't know if I could completely commit to having a relationship with her, just because I want to have the opportunity to get to know her better, and to get to know her and see how we communicate when we really aren't around each other that much, and when we don't have that opportunity to be around each other that much, and just see where it goes. I mean, I'm an open book with it. Like, I told her that last night, and she's like, I want you to think about it. Do you want me to keep me in your life? I want to be in your life if you want me there, but if not, I understand. And yeah, like, I have the same feelings as she does. Like, complexities of a long distance relationship are ridiculous sometimes, and it's about finding that person that you can carry that on with. And if that changes with us, it changes. I would like to see that happen, but if it doesn't, it's okay. It's okay.
So does that mean that the two of you are going to be dating other people?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it will. And I'm okay with that. It's like, I'm not the jealous type. I'm not Mr. Prideful. My biggest thing with this entire process is, you know, it's not about being good enough for somebody. It's not about being the best for somebody. It's about being good for somebody.
Knowing now, in retrospect, how this was going to roll, do you feel like you could have or would have gone through all this with Courtney again?
You know, it's just hard. It's hard to say that, just because, you know, in retrospect, you have 20/20 vision.
Right.
You know, always be like, but what if I didn't do this? I don't have regrets, and I'm not going to regret the choice that I made to do this, ever. So no, I wouldn't change a thing.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, this could be the end for me and Courtney, but it couldn't be at the same time, and I'm okay with either way. It's like, I'm accepting of either way. The way it's supposed to be is, I'll accept it. It's like, you know, I'll fight for it if it's supposed to be there, and I'll let it pass by if it's not. And retrospectively, I don't like looking into the past too much. I know you can learn from it, and I understand that, but at the same time, it's like, I've learned not to regret my choices. Just learn from every choice I've made, and I would go through it again with Courtney, 100%.
Do you see yourself as someone who frequently opens up to, you know, intimate family members and close friends? Does that happen, or are you kind of more of a closed-in person that way?
You know, I do see myself as more of a closed-in person, and I don't know why that is completely. It's probably just some other random thing that I have in my head. It's just, for the most part, I've been able to handle my stuff. I'm very independent, and who I usually bring my problems to and bring my heartache to is usually my Heavenly Father. And I usually can find comfort in that. And when I feel like it's necessary, I can open up to people. I can open up to the people that I feel that are close to me, that will handle my feelings with care instead of telling me I'm a complete idiot.
Sure.
So, yeah, I think it's just the balance in everything. It's like, for a lot of it, I do handle it on my own. And sometimes it's really hard for me to handle, like, talking with people all the time about my feelings. I don't know why that is. It's just who I am, but when I feel it's necessary, I do. I'm able to open up.
Okay. Well, Chris, I realize that this is probably still kind of raw for you. I mean, even on a personal level, you're probably still just finding your bearings and moving forward at this point. I certainly couldn't expect you to feel like it was all patched up and healed and perfect. But do you feel like at this point Courtney is enough of a positive person in your life that you could even talk with her about the struggle of kind of adjusting after this?
Completely.
Okay.
Completely. We've been able to communicate really well through this entire thing. It hasn't been easy. Like, she's communicated with me about, you know, the problems she's had with her, like, just the dynamics of her family in the past. And I've communicated with her about certain issues that I have, and it's easy to communicate with her, and that's why I really do like her. It's like, she's absolutely beautiful, but more than that, like, I communicate with her and she communicates with me in a very good and positive, constructive way. And yeah,
So overall, I think this has been a pretty good experience for them. You know, you can never predict exactly how a relationship is going to affect people because they go through so many ups and downs, and the difficulty and challenge of opening your heart to a new person. It's going to be tricky. It's going to be full of unexpected twists, and certainly this has. But I think overall it's been a good experience because as they are learning more about other people, they can't help but learn about themselves. One of the things that I've noticed in the time that I've worked with Chris and with Courtney is that Courtney is aware of her feelings. She's working through them and she's dealing with them and she's trying to find the best thing for her. One of the things with Chris is he seems to be wanting to connect, which is so important. It's huge. I hope that for him, he takes away from this experience that he will benefit most from dealing with his feelings in the moment and with people, both with the partner that he's with and with the people around him that matter most to him, because that's where we all end up being our best selves in relationships, is when we're good at that and when we allow communication, not just communication of surface feelings, but communication of the core feelings of what's happening for us on a deeper level. As long as we bring that forward and we allow that to be part of our interaction with the people that matter most to us, then we end up healing long term and we end up strong in our relationships to come.
So, how do you think it went today?
I think it went well.
Yeah?
It was fun, yeah.
Different?
Yeah, it was definitely different for me to be able to do that, but yeah, it was good. How did you think it went?
Yeah, I thought it went really well.
Yeah.
I think it's good. I think people should use this more probably
Yeah, probably.
in our
Probably
culture.
should. Definitely.
Yeah. Did you feel like stuff got resolved?
Definitely.
Or?
Yeah, I felt peace. We're good.
Yeah? We're good?
Yeah.
Sure?
Positive.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So, Christopher,
Yes.
let's be serious for a minute.
Oh, serious.
Okay.
Serious faces?
Yes. No, not an ugly face. A serious face. Okay. So, what's the next step for us? What?
We'll see. I mean, keep in contact, see what happens.
Yeah. Okay.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see what happens.
Well, let me let you walk you your apartment.
Okay. Perfect.
Back to the family.
Yes. Alrighty. Bye.
Good luck, say good night.
Thank you.